Hi, I'm Holly Meyer. Let's talk about Project One. Project One is a presentation on a challenge of an instructional method. So in a nutshell, you're going to be meeting with your assigned group online, and then each member of your group will deliver a 10-minute presentation on their assigned instructional method, and specifically on a challenge of that instructional method and then solutions to that challenge. Your 10 minutes should include 4 minutes of interactive discussion, engagement with the other people in your group. So let's get more specific about what this project is and why we developed this project for this course. So to do that, I want to walk through some of the benefits of the project and then make sure that we have really clear alignment between why this project fits with the objectives of the course. So one is this is going to give you access to numerous different instructional formats so that you can build that toolbox of ways to teach and provide forms of assistance for your learners. It's going to give you really deep insight into one specific instructional method, but access through the readings and through hearing your peers to several other instructional formats as well. It's also going to give you some access to reviewing and providing feedback and accepting feedback on teaching, because teaching is an iterative process and it's important to both see how to give feedback to others and receive it ourselves. And then lastly, we're going to dive into some presentation skills in order to help make our transitions better, our slides better, our timing a little bit more efficient. How does this tie into our course? Well, I'll let you read this on your own timing, but I do want to highlight that 10 minutes is short, so finding the appropriate amount of material for 10 minutes matters. So definitely think about that as you're going through it. We're also going to ask you to defend your teaching methods. You're going to have to write objectives and implement assessments, and so both objectives 2 and 3 are going to come out in this project. Objective 4, effective presentation skills. You have to present. So you're definitely going to be engaging your audience. You're going to be thinking about how things appear on the screen, your delivery of rate of speech and body language. All of those are going to come across in this presentation. And then we're going to ground the things that we're developing for this presentation in the literature. You're also going to have a chance to critically review each other's presentations and to receive that review of your own, both from peers and from faculty. So we're going to hit all 5 objectives in this project. We hope you really enjoy it. Let's start with the end in mind. So I always think about, when I'm doing a project, what is this ultimately going to look like? So definitely jump into the rubric for Project 1 and go through each of the line items here to make sure that you're really clear about what we're asking for in this project. I want to take one quick step back and talk about the alignment between Project 1 and 2 and 3. So you'll see that Project 1 spans weeks 1 through 5, and then Project 2 sits just in week 3, and Project 4 really Project 3 really kind of starts in week 4. So there is overlap between the other projects, and you can kind of see how these all fit together here. For the rest of our time in this video, we're going to talk about things before your presentation, during your presentation, and then after your presentation. So before the presentation, you need to know 2 things. 1, what is your assigned instructional method? And 2, what is your role in your group? So there's multiple roles that each person is going to play in their group, and you might be the coordinator or the greeter or the timekeeper, and then each of those roles has an assigned instructional method that is the method you're going to do your 10-minute presentation on. And you can see those methods here underneath the roles. To find out what they are for you, you'll click on the groups, and then you'll go to Project 1 and 2 groups, and you have more information about each of the roles here. And then you also can see which one you're assigned to. So you'll find your name in this list, and then you'll be able to note what method you're assigned and also the role in the group. So nitty-gritty. Again, use the rubric, but really what we're looking for is a 10-minute presentation with 4 minutes of interaction. We want you to pick one challenge. It's only 10 minutes, and explore why that's a challenge for this instructional method and come up with some solutions for how to overcome that challenge. We definitely are looking for you to complement the readings, but not reteach the readings. So use that needs assessment to get information from others about what they learned in the reading, and a helpful hint, that also means you need to do the readings for your peers in order to come prepared to their presentations as well, as they will assume that you've done the readings. Okay, that brings me to this point here of do the readings, watch the videos. Yeah, so we've curated numerous readings and videos to help you develop and build that toolbox of here's all the stuff you are learning, and you'll have access to all of those readings and videos on the weekly tab. So that's a really helpful point. On the project tab has sort of the ins and outs of the project, but all of the readings and how you submit and stuff are all on the weekly tab. So you'll want to use those weekly tabs. Before you present, some of the group members have some really important jobs that need to get started. So if you're a coordinator, a postmaster, or a greeter, you definitely need to get started right away because you have things to do week one. For peer feedback and instructor feedback, we believe that getting feedback is really important in order to create an opportunity for people to take risks and try new teaching strategies. So with that in mind, in week 2, you will get feedback from your group using Google Slides. So definitely make sure to share your slides with the group. And then in week 3, you'll get feedback from the instructors so that you have a chance to revise your project before you actually present to the group. So here's how you submit that information. So for the peer review and for the faculty review, there's nothing to submit on Canvas. You'll just share your Google Slides with the instructors and with your group. Please don't make a new Google Slides with your revisions. Just continue to make revisions to your original link and just share it with the group and instructors. All right, so we've done before, let's do during. So during the presentation, you all get onto Google Meet, you meet as a group, somebody's in charge of recording, and you will present for 10 minutes, and you will also hear everyone else's presentations. And then at the very end, you will all have 5 minutes to do a group reflection. That group reflection is led by the discussion facilitator, and they have specific questions they'll ask you at the end to make sure that you have a chance to do that reflection. Recorder, don't tell anyone, but you have the easiest job, but it's also the most important. You have to make sure that we can see your videos, as the instructors will not be attending your session. We just do that so that it's easier. We know people are busy. So this just allows you guys to find a time that works without our busy schedules complicating things. Timekeepers, your role is super important. We will only watch that 10-minute mark, so please make sure that you are keeping time for people so that they get the most out of their presentation. Let's talk about submission. So for your final presentation, you're going to submit your slides on Canvas. After you present, so sometime in week 4, you're going to meet with your group and present. By Sunday of week 4, you need to go into Canvas and post on your group's discussion board. Use the rubric to tell us one thing that went well and one thing to improve on your own presentation. Then by Wednesday, go in and use your group's self-reflection to provide feedback to each group member. So by Sunday, you're going to do a self-reflection. How did this go for me? And then by Wednesday, you'll provide feedback to each other member in the group. We really find that people are very nervous about this presentation, and they'll comment about how anxiety-provoking it is. And then in the reviews of the course, people predominantly talk about how much they love this project. So we just wanted to share some voices of prior learners of how this came across in the evaluation of the course. If you need anything, Tasha and I are available. We're really excited to help you with whatever you need. And then I just want to bring back up this chart here to help you remember how this project fits into the other projects. Have a great time. We really hope you enjoy this, and thanks for being in the course.